what is a stock index fund and what is happening with the stock index funds this week?
We're going to talk about it and what's next.
Already. Well, what happened?
You're welcome.
There are not a lot of things happening this week.
No, again, it's a bit of the story of the last, we talked about volatility.
Yeah.
Before we started recording, volatility is low.
Yeah.
In the S&P 500 VIX is at 17 and it's a line that goes down.
Yeah.
Last week we thought we were having some negative trend setting in, but now this morning up again. So
Records. Oil is trading at $73
Exactly.
again, records for the last 2 years.
There's no records in the car companies though. They're not producing as much cars as they wish. We have a little bit of a chips crisis. You talked about it also before with Nvidia. You talked about, I think, Taiwan Semiconductors, a lot of different of those semiconductor companies. There's a shortage of, enormous shortage of chips, and we know that. This year only 1.3 million cars could not be produced. In Spain you see a lot of the larger car companies sending their employees home. We even had a stop of 3 days for the production of the Audi A1 because there were not sufficient chips to produce them. And total production in Spain went down about 19%, so that is quite a lot. And if you look on the total car production industry, there was the lack of chips has cost the industry about 92 billion, which is a big amount of money.
Yeah, and so I think you can't see it, but we have a Sonos speaker, 2 Sonos speakers over there, and you can't find them anymore, new ones.
Because of the chips.
Also because of the chips.
I think things have become way too complicated.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
And Pershing Square,
Yeah.
that's the
Bill
fund
Ackman.
of Bill Ackman was in the news because they took a stake of 10% in Universal Music Group, and that's valued now at $40 billion, but Tencent also had a stake of 20%. They had a stake of 10 and they doubled the stake last year to 20%. And the owner of the group, Vivendi, is the idea is they say that they want to bring it to the stock market, so 60% of the company. But it's quite a big movement. And also, what I found a little bit of interesting news that Netflix made a deal with Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
A lot of producers are complaining about Netflix because Netflix decides what is going to be produced for what price.
How old is Steven Spielberg?
I think he has his vaccine. And so, but he made a deal, so probably that is good for Netflix and also for Steven. The stock market, the shareholders didn't respond on it. It only went up almost 1%, but it was some funny news, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the rest, of course, is about football this week.
Yes, Hungary now.
Hungary, yeah.
Played yesterday against Poland, or against Germany.
Yeah, and they, for everybody who saw it, I don't have to say anything. They were almost winning, and in the 85th minute, the Germans scored 2-2, and that's why Hungary is out. But Hungary was also in the news this week.
Hot, no? What's hot?
On what's hot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of discussion about increasing the interest rate. We spoke about it last week. The plan of the Fed is to increase the interest rates in 2023 with 2 steps. Yeah. But in our backyard, in Europe, Hungary also already increased the interest rate on Tuesday from 0.6 to 0.9%. So that's quite interesting news. And also the Czech Republic, they did the same on Thursday by increasing the interest rate from 0.25 to 0.5. So a lot of people are talking about, but in Europe, and it are not the biggest economies, not the biggest countries, but they were. And I think this is a sign, so you see it in the newspaper, but only short messages, but it is a sign that the interest rates are going up.
Yeah.
And I looked a little bit further. Czech Republic is also really important from a football perspective because we are from Holland and we play against them on Sunday.
Yeah.
And if you look at the unemployment, I didn't know that the unemployment rate of the Czech Republic is 3.5%. Really low, and they think that it will even go down to 3% in 2 years. And of course, if you have a debt, then interest rates are really important. So
Absolutely,
I
yeah,
also,
of course, because that's the cost.
yeah, so I look at first at Hungary. They have a government debt of around 75%. It's not that high, not if you compare it with the US, that's around 100, 110%, Spain 120, Italy 150. So that's in Hungary it's 75%. In the Czech Republic it's only 35%.
It's very good for them.
So quite interesting what's happening in our backyard.
Absolutely.
From a macro perspective.
I agree with you.
I think it's hot and it is a sign.
It is absolutely a sign.
The Russell.
The Russell, yeah, we are at the end of, we're already in June, end of the first half year of 2021, and that is the moment that the Russell 3000 is becoming reconstituted, as they call that. The reconstitution of the Russell 3000 is really important because it's apparently the biggest day of trading in the US, so the biggest amount of trades that are being done. Why? 295 companies are going out of the Russell and 295 new companies are coming in. And in general, thousands of individual companies, stocks will be impacted directly because the huge blocks of trades that are going to be executed. Funny thing is that the first list is always produced on the 4th of the month, or the first Friday, then the second Friday they change a little bit, the third Friday do it again on the expiration, and then the last Friday they put that in place. And if you wonder if it's been good for the stocks that have been presented in the initial list, yes, because if you look at the total stock market in the US, about half of the stocks have been going up, half of the stocks are going down. So it's a 50-50 scenario, independent what sort of stocks they are, mid cap, small cap, large cap, that doesn't matter. But the stocks that are going into the Russell, almost 90% of them have gone up 15% or more in this last month.
Since the first announcement.
Since the first announcement. So it is a clear indication. It is not a guarantee that they will continue to go up, because it is also possible that the index funds might not be that interesting in those specific stocks, that they will not take them in. The biggest gainers, if you're interested in what sort of companies are, it's like mainly biotech and medicinal companies. So Atossa Therapeutics is in there, Bio Nano Genomics, Mind Medicine, I'm reading up because I don't have them in my head, of course. And if you look at volume, the Russell 3000 index has a volume of, in 2020 was 31.4 trillion, and at this moment we're talking about nearly 42 trillion. So it's a massive, it's really, really important, and you will see that the companies that are incorporated, the final list is, if you type in Google Russell 3000 new incorporations, you can follow those companies, and then you'll see that it has impact on their share price.
And how long will the effect last, do you think?
It depends on the stock. Normally, I mean, it's a little bit on also the sector that they're in. Apples with apples. You see companies like GameStop and AMC are also being incorporated now into the Russell. Those stocks are extremely volatile. Because of the huge increase in price, they now have a market cap. I mean, GameStop is 4.3 billion worth at this moment, and it's going to be incorporated in the Russell. But is that a stock that will last and will continue to grow? I don't know. It's difficult. But it's a good question, and it's a good example, I think, GameStop, to see how difficult it is to estimate the effect.
But interesting.
Yeah.
So if you see a lot of movement on Friday, the 25th, and the week after, then you probably know where it's coming from.
That's the trick.
So thank you for watching. Have fun with watching football. Have fun with watching cycling, Tour de France. I hope to see you next week.
Great.